Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Find Your Voice podcast. I wanted to talk a little bit today about what to do or how to, well, maybe how to think, not how to react, how to think when someone else is disappointed in you. It will happen. You will disappoint someone, and maybe you will do something or say something that someone else feels like it's wrong or it's violating them in some way or shape or form. They don't think that what you did was right. And it will happen. Number one, I always tell myself after reading The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, highly recommended, don't take it personally. Now, you really actually can't hurt anyone. It's really everyone's choice how they want to perceive something, or even for me, getting hurt isn't anything that anyone can do to me. It's really something that I'm allowing my thoughts I'm allowing my thoughts to behave in a way that allows them to actually cause me hurt or pain. So don't take it personally, because it's not like anyone is trying to hurt you by telling you that you did something wrong. And it's also not, regardless of what their actual intention is, I always tell myself not to take it personally. And I'm not going to lie. Yes, sometimes it does get to me, because I'm someone, I want to do everything right, and I want to be on friendly terms with not everyone, but I try to be very kind in this world, and the way I show up, I try to be understanding and kind and all the things that make living together as human beings pleasant. But the truth is, sometimes I even have to tell someone that what they did isn't okay for me. And sometimes I get told that what I did was maybe not okay for someone else. So, number one, don't take it personally. Number two, take it with a grain of salt, and maybe there is a learning lesson. Maybe there's only a learning lesson about your interaction with that specific person. Maybe you didn't think that would be causing someone else to be offended, or whatever it is that that they feel that what you did was wrong. It's their perception, and that is legitimate. I never will tell anyone, and this is where a lot of arguments and discussions start, and a lot of hurt and pain originates. It's because we get all defensive when someone tells us, well, what you did was wrong, or I feel like this wasn't right, and or I'm hurt, or I feel this or that way, which is not a positive thing about what you did or said. We get all defensive, and we try to present everything in a way that we have to prove, oh, but I didn't mean it. But what you're saying is, stop it already. What you're feeling is wrong. So first of all, I try to get into this place of, okay, I acknowledge this. I maybe want to think about it first. I give you that, it's, why am I stuttering? It's legitimate. I give you permission to feel that way. I'm not trying to tell you stop it already. That's wrong, because I didn't mean it that way. And if I didn't mean it that way, then you're not supposed to feel that way. I always tell my daughter too, it's like, my kids and everyone's like, your feelings are always legit. It's not like someone can tell you, oh, but you're wrong. No, you feel the way you feel. And if that's the way you feel, then there's nothing I can do to say that, oh, that's you're lying, or you're wrong, or the way you feel is just not right. What like, it is what it is, and I have to take it as such. So accepting, and not only accepting that that's how they feel, but at the same time understanding that where they're coming from, that is the reality that they're in right now. So not to tell them that is the wrong reality. Get out of it already. The next thing I try to do is to understand, okay, given their background of where they are in life right now, can I understand? And even if I don't understand, trying to put myself in their shoes, that what if I had that same background and I were where they are right now in life, like with, maybe I don't know anything about this person. Maybe I do know something about the person, but even if I don't know something, I'm not assuming, like, I don't know what their experiences have been up to here. Maybe I know a few things, and maybe I can start understanding. It's like, okay, I can understand how someone who has had experience XYZ could end up feeling this way when XYZ happens to them, or when, because of what I said or did, that is logical. And maybe sometimes it's not even logical. But the truth is, they feel how they feel. Now, the way they confront you about it, again, it's not like it's not your position right now to judge whether that is the right way or the wrong way. It is what it is. And it's not right or wrong. It's just that's the way they perceive reality. And that is the way they feel. And that is the way that they feel they have to confront this. Maybe they're doing it in a very defensive way. Maybe they're doing it in a very aggressive way. Maybe they're doing it in a very friendly way. I always tend to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. And while I do want to tell someone if they have disappointed me, because if I don't tell them, that's not going to help anyone, because then maybe that's going to repeat and then it's going to happen all over again. We want to communicate in a way that will help us as human beings to understand, so that we can adjust maybe a few little details and have a more harmonious way of, interacting. No one wants to have tension. No one really likes that. No one wants to argue. No one wants to hate. No one wants to hate anyone. No one gets up today and says, I think I want to just hate this person today. They would rather like you if there was something to like. And if they don't like you, it's not because they are like, I think I want to hate people today. I don't think so. I think anything that anyone does or says, they do it or say it because they believe that is the right thing for them, or they believe that that is necessary. And even in politics, I don't really think, even when someone lies, no one lies knowingly and thinks, I'm doing this because I want to be a bad person. And even if someone says, I want to be a bad person, they're doing it because they think it's right, or it leads to something that is right. See that? Like, I don't think anyone ever gets up or just thinks to themselves, I want to be a horrible human being. And I want to hurt people because I want to hurt people. Maybe they think, well, it's like in war, right? Our leaders do it all the time. Well, in order for an outcome on the big scale to be positive, we're going to have to hurt a few people. Why would we have any wars? Which wars, I don't feel like wars are always, there are no winners. There are always losers. If anyone dies and perishes, there's always just losers. But see how some people, they don't want to be bad inherently. It's just like, that's just the way they perceive the world, and this is how it ought to be. But that's the danger. When someone confronts you with something that they believe you've done wrong, or it's not the way they think it should be, or they should have said that, then it's all, you should never get in this position to where you feel like, oh, they're bad. Now they're my enemy because this is how I see it. And like, I'm a good person. And because they don't think I'm a good person or I didn't do this right, I feel like they're a bad person now, because how can a good person think about another good person who has the best intentions that they're doing something not good? So it's like everyone gets into this enemy position. Maybe not literal enemy, but in that moment, it feels like you're not connected. How do we get back that connection? And I always feel like when one side starts to put aside all of that, I'm right, you're wrong, oh, I didn't mean to, and even an apology, maybe an apology isn't even sufficient. Maybe an apology is just saying, yes, it was wrong. Maybe the better way is to say, according to your perception, what I did was not right. I understand how you feel that way and how you could arrive at that feeling or conclusion or these thoughts. I acknowledge that. I take it seriously. And in the future, I will do my best to show up differently, to keep in mind that this is the thing that makes you feel a certain way. And I mean, I did this myself just now. I had a meeting and then we cut it short because certain things happened before that. It wasn't anything terrible, but it was just this moment of not feeling connected. And I feel like I apologized. But actually what I should have done was to acknowledge, to communicate my understanding of this, and that in order for us to connect better in the future, this is how I will show up from now on. And you know what? There are mistakes we make. Maybe not mistakes. There are things we do, like we forget things. Forgetting something isn't something that there's no bad intentions in forgetting, but forgetting, like if you forget an appointment and someone shows up and you're not showing up, someone could feel very offended. And I understand. I would a lot of times. But then at the same time, how can we avoid that? Like I need to be better about making sure that I don't drop the ball, that I do remember all the things and showing up when I need to, and like remembering the things that I said I was going to do. So it's all about me putting the systems in place that will allow me to show up differently in the future, so this won't happen again. And will I forget things? Yes, but again, I feel like if I do just nothing, if all I do is just, I'm so sorry, that's not solving anything. It's not changing anything. It's just going to happen again. It's like, oh, I know, I don't want to talk negatively, but it's almost like my daughter now, she's 11, she's going to be 12. She is at an age where, of course, she wants to be with her friends a lot, and she is exploring who she is, her own identity. And I want her to become more independent, find her identity, and explore, like, what do I believe about this? And what are my thoughts on that? Who am I in this world? And like, what's my identity here? The tendency that she has been having is that whenever I try to talk to her about anything that I would want her to change, the only response I get is like, sorry. If I say, it would really be nice if you could put away the plate, and if there's leftovers, if you do eat after I go to bed, if I didn't have to put this away the next morning and like the stuff is stuck on the plate. Sorry. That's all I get. So that's not, and I always tell her, like, sorry isn't, like, it's, in this case, that word is meaningless because it happens again and again. What can we do to where you don't have to say sorry anymore? Because we have actually addressed the root of the problem, which is she's not paying attention because she is focused on other things. It's not that she means bad, but it's we're not solving anything. And also, when I try my best to not be aggressive about it. And, I don't try to grab in a ways like, oh my goodness, you left all the stuff for me to clean again. What's she supposed to say then? What is she supposed to say? Except, sorry, Mom. And she's just not mature enough to where she's at this point to where she's acknowledging, you're right. I just was a little lazy. And I will work harder to pay attention to where I'm not wrapped up. I tell her sometimes, put a timer in your phone or a reminder, like before you go to bed. Put away things so Mom doesn't have to, or something like that. I mean, trying to look for an actual solution. So, what are your thoughts? What is your go-to reaction when someone comes to you and says, I feel really offended, or like, what you said just really hurt me? What is your go-to reaction? Do you get all humble and you're like, oh, I'm so sorry, and you feel so bad, which again is not really solving the problem? Or do you get all defensive? It's like, oh, I'm sorry, but I didn't mean to. How could you take this so seriously? And like, I'm like that, from my perspective, is like, come on already. Don't make a big deal out of it. I mean, come on. I understand. And like, I want to move on. I'm someone like, okay, can we just, thank you. We'll fix it. Can we go on? But what if someone wants to dwell on it a little bit and be like, yeah, but I want to be acknowledged. And I understand that, like there are some people, and it's not enough for someone to say, I'm sorry, I'll not do it again. Okay, can we continue? What if someone is stuck in that feeling and said, I'm sorry, I can't shake it right now. And again, there was that word again. What if they say, I just cannot snap my fingers and get out of this feeling? I can't just snap my fingers and get out of any feeling just in a couple seconds. I can't. So sometimes it's just hormones. And it's true. It is sometimes contributed to hormones. Once you get on that slope of getting into these emotions of I'm hurt and it's a bad thing, it does become hormonal at some point, which then it's not in 2 seconds that you can fix things, unless maybe there are certain things that have quick hormonal highs. Like, I don't know, like certain things that feel good maybe, or I don't know, looking at a baby's face. It's like almost like when you look at a baby, you have to be happy and you have to get all soft and happy, and oxytocin comes around, the feel good, like cuddly hormone. It's almost like I feel like I can't be upset if I look at babies. Maybe that's a good way. All right. That's all for today. And I did want to give you a little update. I did promise you that I would tell you about the new project, and I have announced it in other places. But I have decided to completely make a pivot, and I have started the brand, the Single Mom CEO. Because what I've been wanting to do is really find the tribe of other single moms who are entrepreneurial, who are high achievers, not hustlers. There's a difference. Who are high achievers, who at the same time do not want to sacrifice their relationships with their children because they want to show up, they want to be there, they want to pay attention and not be on the laptop buried all day. I did that. I had those times. I literally can't right now because the twins prevent me from it. I literally cannot. It's a good thing right now. Probably when they get older, I might be able to do this, and I hope I'm not going to do it. But the temptation is there to, when you can, just open up the laptops like, oh, I could do this and I could do that. Can I just fix this on the website? Can I just write another email? Oh, can I just look at this stats again and see? There are so many things we could do for our businesses, but it's so good for me right now to be in this phase of my life to where I have 2 toddlers who literally, if I show them there is a laptop in the room, they're all over it. And they're going to break it and they're going to open it and they're going to be like, all over it. So there's literally no way. I can have my phone, and even sometimes I have to like hide it quickly, because if I don't, they're like, okay, I want, what have you got? I want to look, and I want to mess around with it. So it's a good thing right now that when I'm off work, which I'm going to do right now when I hit stop, I'm literally off work. My brain does think about business and all that, but I literally can't do anything except maybe talk to my team and have brainstorming, which that's a great time to do stuff like that. Just when I'm not in the business, while I'm not working on it, that's actually the best time to see the big picture. Oh, and I have a new podcast, The Single Mom CEO. You can find it anywhere where you can find podcasts, probably. iTunes. No, it's Apple Podcasts now. It's not iTunes anymore. Apple Podcasts and Spotify and your favorite app. I use Overcast. I checked. It's there. Sometimes it takes a few days. It's pretty new. It's only been a little over a week. And the first 4 episodes are out there. Or are there 5? No, I think it's the first 4 episodes. It's the first 4 episodes are out there, and there's going to be 1 episode every single week, and it's really for the single mom CEO, the single mom who is an entrepreneur. And you can check out the website also, thesinglemomceo.com. And I have a free guide there that you can download if you are in that position. Even if you're not a single mom, if you are a mom who has a business, who's entrepreneurial, I have a free guide there, 6 strategies to grow a 6-figure business while raising kids. Just some tips, like practical tips of how do you find the bandwidth to do all of that. And if you want to check it out, go ahead, subscribe to that podcast too. And I will do my best here to continue putting out content because I'm doing the new endeavor and I really want to focus on that. I can't promise that there's going to be a new episode here every single week, but I will try my best to keep you updated. And I love talking about mindset stuff. But on the Single Mom CEO podcast, there's going to be some of that too. But there's also going to be business talk and there are going to be interviews. So yes, have an amazing day. Thanks for tuning in today. And I will see you soon. Keep on dreaming big. Yes, dreams do come true. I have some things about my business and the plans of moving to the US next time. I'll share more then. Be blessed. Talk soon.